How you doing, man?
Oh, good.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be the work that they dedicated to kind of going through the attribution, analytics, and everything for a new client. But like, I almost closed 3 clients today. I mean, they will be closed. They just maybe don't know it yet. But
Yeah.
it kind of happened all through referrals, and like. The totally day block for something else turned out to the day of discovery calls.
Right. That's good.
Just a regular day in the hood, as they say.
That's good. That's good. Are you still focusing on that 5K package, or are those leads for something else?
Yeah. Not 5K, but 5K is a start. So.
Got it. Yeah, it's. I think because you sent it to me a while back, right? What that package was, and I think that package makes a lot of sense. A lot of companies should take you on that, because basically you're coming in as like their outsourced demand gen team, and then they just build it for what an employee in America or less would cost. So
yeah, it all depends how it goes, but yeah, that's where we are competitive in. Right. Like we still have employees in Europe, and that's like a lot cheaper than in US.
Yeah. No, you guys have found a good opportunity there. I have about 40 minutes. I have prepared a few questions that I wanted to like discuss with you.
Nice.
And we can kind of jump right into it. So we're actually talking about, welcome everyone.
We are recording. Cool.
Yeah, it's recording. So welcome everyone to another episode of B2B Weekly. Today, I think we have very interesting topics to talk about. We were just talking off camera about pricing and different packages that Nemanja and Funky Marketing have deployed over this year, which I think are super exciting. You should go to their website and check them out. But this kind of drives me to the question of whether B2B service-based businesses, so marketing agencies, demand gen agencies, should include their pricing on their website, or should that something be hidden until you have a discovery call and then you have put together a plan for them? The reason I'm asking this question is because actually we're redoing our website, and it's something that I'm debating whether to include that or not. I still don't have an answer, but would love to hear about like what you guys are doing and what you think is the best practice for this type of marketing agencies. I have some thoughts that I'll jump after you.
I would like to hear your thoughts, because like the overview of what's going on in the industry and like the people, let's say most of them in demand gen that I analyzed, most of them don't have a pricing on the website. They don't have the packages. They don't have even the pricing, maybe the starting price, and that's it. Because like a lot of them are focused on SEO. SEO is the bigger deal in the packages. So, when it comes to SEO, a lot of things are like foggy, and a lot of people don't want to put the pricing up ahead because like it's hard thing to sell, and hard thing to implement as well. So you need to know what you're doing. Also, all depends on all other things. Like now, account-based marketing is something that's very, I think, like talkable topic inside these circles. And who knows? Companies are doing it differently, and they're hiring different vendors using different tools for that. And I think overall, what we miss is kind of the transparency when it comes to that. The only company that I saw that they have a pricing was Refine Labs, and now with redesign, I think they just have like the starting price, and then all depending on the advertising budget and additional things that you add to it. I mean, even that's okay. That's something that people know where you're starting with your pricing and what you can expect. That's also okay. For us, for now, like not even a month with the pricing packages on the website we have, the experience is that that people feel like they know what they can expect for the certain amount of money, and they are coming to us with like at least the minimum that they have. And so comparing it to what we had before, it's just like the starting price. It's much different, and it's different because it was lower and now we kind of raised the prices, and so I cannot really compare it to what's happening before, but so far it's working good. Nobody that came to the discovery call and schedule a call actually said that they can't afford it, which means that we are actually getting the right people to the contact us page to schedule a call, to look at the pricing and everything. And we don't have many leads. Like all of the guys that came to the contact us page and schedule a call, all of them we were able to convert. So basically we don't have like MQLs or the people who are just here to check out kind of what's happening. We got a few emails of people asking like, what do we get for the 5,000, or like most of them coming from Serbia. So I get why they are asking. But yeah, that's basically the overview so far.
Yeah. I think like, I love your arguments, and I think the answer is it depends, right? Like a lot of marketing stuff, it depends. One, I think it depends on the type of service that you sell. So it's a very custom service that you're providing, then it's impossible for you to put a price because it depends on so many variables. So like if you're doing like web development, like it's hard to put a price on that because it depends on like the scope of the project, how quick you want it, etc., etc. But when you're selling a productized service, right? Like even when you guys are doing it, it's kind of productized. It's a product that you guys are selling because it's the same thing. It's obviously it changes, but it's the same kind of deliverables over and over again. It's the same strategy that you put in place. So I think that's when like you can consider it. And if we believe in being customer centric, then we're going to add it there. Personally, I don't want to add it. Like I don't want them to see the pricing. I want them to come to the call, me share the value, and then be like, here's the pricing because of that value. Like I'd rather share that at the beginning. But I understand that for them as a buyer, what they want is to see the pricing and say, okay, I can afford that or not. Which puts even more emphasis on educating them on the value before they go to the website, right? Through your content, through your demand gen strategy, they should be able to understand, okay, this is going to be a great ROI investment. Let me just see how much it is. And that's when like you can put the pricing on the side. What you said, I think makes a lot of sense because it really filters down the people that cannot afford it. Right? You might be missing on a few people that you could have convinced through the value on the sales call, and they didn't even take the step to join the sales call. But I think overall, you're getting the right people and you're filtering that. But obviously, each business is different. If you're listening, like, don't just listen to us, but I think these are some things to consider when you're like thinking about, should I put the pricing there? Should I don't? I don't know if you have more thoughts on this, but one thing that you mentioned. Go ahead.
There's also one thing that that I should mention is that we tend to be more flexible. Mm-hmm. So not necessarily stick to the packages, because if somebody comes and they say like we didn't do anything when it comes to like content, or we did very little, and we want to also like grow more from the organic visit sites, from the search engines, from Google, then if they aren't in the mood for distributing content through ads, maybe they want to focus on, let's say, LinkedIn organic or social media organic or something else, but they want to invest more in content than into distribution.
Mhm.
then like it makes more sense to kind of put emphasis on the content instead of like adding the advertising to the package. I mean, we can always change that further, so we tend to be flexible. And also one thing that I've noticed, and companies have told me, is that every demand gen agency out there that I know of are doing the 1 year long commitment for the clients. And when you have companies that have never invested in demand gen or in working with a serious agency, then they have certain scare of that,
Right.
like in committing to a year long deal, especially around the environment that's created around agencies that don't actually deliver results or implement those kind of things. And like we tend to go with 3 months minimum. That's it. And then like we see what's the fit. If there's a fit, are we okay? Then we continue further, or we go away. It also happens. But just so we can actually see what's working, we need time first to analyze things, then to implement and see what's working. We need at least 3 months. That's how we start. So just wanted to bring that up, so to clarify.
That's a good point. I mean, I think you and I are really believers in being customer centric, right? Versus what we want. And obviously we would love a year-long contract. Like I would, like, I'm in love with them, but I understand and I'm empathetic to the buyer, and they don't want that. So I think it's like, you as a founder or as a marketer, that having that empathy and being buyer centric, I think can really put you in a position where you differentiate yourself. Right? Just by adding that 3-month commitment instead of a year, like, I'd feel much more comfortable jumping in. And then you have time to like prove that you know what you're doing. Obviously 3 months is still a short period of time, but it's a differentiator from that. And it's interesting.
Most of the time it's the deal maker,
Right.
because you said, okay, give us 3 months, let's start, then we can see. I mean, we are honest people. If something's wrong or not, like, we're not going to go to the court or do some things, or say if we're not a fit, we won't work together. It is as simple as that.
Right. Yeah, we're doing month to month, and I'm thinking about changing it to 3 months, just because content is something that requires a bit more commitment, and just to filter those people who are like, I just want to try 1 month versus getting 3 months. So that's something that we're probably changing. But yeah, I think we're never going to go to a year-long commitment, at least not now. We've kind of touched on a few things I want to ask you, but let's start with, we've talked about competition, right? We talked about how Refine Labs has their starting package, how other companies do not have any pricing on the website, how they're doing 12 months versus 3 months. I want to ask you, how much impact does competition play on your thinking, on your practices? How much attention do you pay to competition versus, like, do you think about them at all? Do you analyze them? Do you research them? What's your thought on competition?
I mean, I don't analyze them, and I don't research them. But like, we are here in the same space, so you cannot not notice some things. And I like to learn from them, to be honest. They make me a better marketer.
Right.
Like, a lot of them, I don't consider them as competitors, because it's a huge space and we are not in the same pricing level. We are not in the same when it comes to every service that we provide. So it's kind of different, and we are different with the way we communicate. We are different in the way that our messaging is, with the way our branding is. I mean, they are different from us as well. So that's kind of how it is. To be honest, those are the guys that are changing the industry, and I'm learning a lot from them, and kind of trying to follow on some point, and on some points to also change some things myself.
Makes sense. Do you think that, so you don't have that mindset of like, I have to beat them, or like it's a one like, do you see it as like a one wins all, or do you see it as everybody can win?
No, I mean, basically we are in the game of changing the game, changing the B2B industry. So one agency cannot do it. One man cannot do it. It needs even more than 3 companies, the agencies. It takes a lot more to do that. So we are here to influence the others through the services we are doing, through the customers, through our messaging, through the people that are following us. So all those things came into consider. And yeah, so basically that's it. I don't mind if somebody else is creating the category, you know, like we're still not there. We're not that powerful, so we can jump in and like get the funding on trade. It's the different game that we're playing. So it's more of the game of a company coming from a third world country, because that's what Serbia is. It's not even the part of the EU officially. So even though we're in the EU demographically, but like, and entering the EU market, entering the US market, changing things a little bit, making some new standard differentiation based on that. Also telling the story about the people from the country, and now we are becoming more of like mixture of countries. So also telling the story from people from different environment, different countries coming together to do something significant. It sounds like a fairy tale.
No, but you guys do very good the storytelling side of things. I think you guys are one of the companies who like looks more like a D2C company versus a B2B. I think you guys have achieved that and will continue to do that. For me, I think of it as a bit different. Maybe it's because I'm younger and more stupid, but I think of it more as an actual competition. Um, that there are maybe 2 or 3 people who kind of do what we do, and I didn't research them because I didn't want to, just because I like knowing that there's competition starts giving you like doubts, right? Like, how are we better than them?
Well, do you think you will start copying them or something else?
Right. So like, but obviously, like you said, we're in the same space, so we come across each other. I'm actually meeting one of them, the founder of one, tomorrow, who's like the same age as me, and we're like gonna chop it up. So I'm good with the founder, but I hate the companies. Like, I really, really hate them, and I want to beat them so bad. So that's just like my approach personally. I think it's going to change over time, but I have that, like basketball mentality still of like who wins. Like, are we going to win or are they going to win? Obviously, like I understand your idea of like, if together we're changing the game of how founders and CEOs and B2B are going to create content and create their personal brand, like that's going to elevate all of us, right? But I don't like, maybe just like to use it as motivation, but for me it's more about like, we're competing, let's see who wins. Whoever signs the best clients, whoever runs the best business is the one that wins, which is stupid when I say it out loud, but mentally it's something that like, it gives me motivation to keep going, so I use it. But I think this shows like there's no one right approach. You can look at competition and everything else in different ways, and all of them
Yeah.
are not necessarily wrong or right.
Well, it's good if you don't get to extremes.
Right.
That's all good. And I'm kind of looking at like where we are starting, where like the people that we consider as competitors are starting. It's totally like this and this. So we still need to come up to this. And while we are going here, they are moving up. So
Right.
we need to double or triple what we are doing and the results that we are achieving just to get to where they're starting.
Right. But even just looking at them, I think it pushes you farther, right? Because
Yeah, definitely.
otherwise it's easy to get complacent. I remember this, one of my favorite songs is by Kendrick Lamar, the rapper, and the song is called Control. And basically he talks about how he loves all the rappers, but he wants to murder them and beat them, right? So like the song is amazing, and it's the same way. Like I love people who are on the same space, but at the same time, I want to beat you. But at least that's my that's my approach.
that one from that Gary V used for the intro. That also goes with you, so like, because we're gonna be legends.
Oh, I know that.
Get their attention.
Yeah.
Because what we do isn't just scary; it's gonna be legendary. Yeah, that's
right. Yeah, but it's interesting how we approach that differently. Moving to something you mentioned before about companies that don't feel like doing the distribution of their content, and they just have to start creating the content because they haven't done it yet. I just wanted to hear a bit more about your Facebook ads distribution content. So distributing content through Facebook, which I'm guessing is the platform that you use the most. What are some best practices? What are some tips that people should know about in terms of distributing their content through paid advertising? Just to give you some context, the reason I'm asking is because we're starting to put out a long article or a longer form article every week. And obviously we're thinking about how to distribute it. So what's companies that have articles or content or stuff that they want to share with their audience, how should they do it with paid ads? What platform?
Yeah, if it's a long form articles, I don't think they are the right fit for the Facebook as distribution. Just because you cannot read them in like up to 3 or 4 minutes. Just based on that, and this is how much everybody can spend on the platform and are spending on, let's Facebook, on Instagram, no matter like what's happening in their day. The content that's more for Facebook advertising, it's like news-like articles, short case studies, testimonials, those kind of things. But I mean, you can try. There's always a thing to watch. I mean, how do we do it? We go into the 2 different target groups. One are the decision makers, and one are the people that will actually communicate with you if you are they are using the services, basically. So they are not decision makers, but they will, let's say, in our case, it's the CMO, possibly. So we go to 2 of those groups, and first, when we got demographics and everything, you can go into 2 ways. You can go into being more general and going a little bit wider. Facebook is the platform when you are going wider. LinkedIn is the platform when you are going more with strategic account-based mindset, and that's how you target people. So on Facebook, you go wider. The audience that's working the best, in most cases, it's like 120,000 people, around that number. Now you can go higher, and like I usually go with the wider approach, and then like I see who's reacting on channel level. Do we have the right people? If you have the right people, okay, that's cool. If we don't have it, then we need to narrow it down by specific interest, and then so we can just get the best leads out of it, or the best people that are coming to the website. You check on who's liking, who's commenting on the ads, just to see what's going on, and then on the landing page on the website, you follow if those people are actually consuming the content, how much time they are spending, because you know how long is the article and how much time do they need to actually read through it. So that's also one thing. The conversion setup, I think, is the important part here, and it's landing page. I like to go with the landing page views. So that's the conversion, people that are coming to the specific page on a website. That's like conversion. And I like to do that just to kind of give me a clear overview of what's going on, because it's like clicks. It doesn't give you anything, and you cannot do for the clicks, it's like traffic campaign. But for this, you can go with conversion campaign, and then it gives you the people that are actually doing that conversion, that it is, in your case, like actually reading what's going on. Also, I like to separate Facebook from Instagram, and use it maybe in two different ad sets, just because it can go on one way or the other, take too much.
Right.
Too much out of the budget. So you kind of see what's going on and just react to that. And that's basically it. Always keep it simple, as you already know. Keep it simple and watch and see what's happening. Also, one thing that you can do additionally, and it's always a good thing, like if you are going with specific articles with a specific name, kind of like you're doing with your LinkedIn posts, and calling up like CEOs of B2B companies, but like more specifically with the industry or related to the service or those kind of things. Then you can kind of go with retargeting of those people that are coming to the page and kind of offering them the services, or maybe to subscribe to the newsletter, depending on what's your goal, and just to basically get them to another platform to do something else and to kind of continue the conversation with them. I mean, possibly you have all that on the website, so it's happening on the website, but if it's not happening, you can always get them back. But then you already know what they are interested in.
Right. I like that.
It's more specific. So you can tell them in the ad, like, hey, I know you read this article. I know you're interested in this topic. So if you want to talk more about it, I can give you like 50 minutes of my time or half an hour to kind of jump in and see the way I can help you or something else.
Yeah. What should clients of yours that run those campaigns expect? I know that's a very vague question, but like, what are some of the things that they should start seeing after certain time investing with you guys into that?
Yeah, I mean, for this, they basically what's going on. We are educating them, and when they feel that they have enough information, they go back to the decision maker. If they're not the decision maker, so influencing the decision making in the company, and depending on how much time does it take to do that, they are coming, or the CEO is coming, or the CFO, whoever it is, the one that's doing it, coming back, or scheduling the call, or buying the service, depending how it goes. And basically we need to learn how to stay patient. If we have seen all the signs and we looked everything, it's going to happen. So that's one of those things. Let me just think what I else wanted to say. What was the question? What they can expect?
What should they expect?
Right?
So mostly inbound leads through that content generated, right?
Yeah, it's basically fast forwarding the moment when content starts working.
Right.
Basically, that's it. Because we are not doing it organically and wait for that to happen. We are distributing into the specific people and kind of moving those things forward.
What's a minimum budget that you think people should have? Let's base it on American people in order to distribute content. At what point do you think it starts to make sense? Like ad spend, obviously, without the management fee.
It all depends.
Right.
I think it's very different. And when I run it every time, it's a little bit different. And it all depends. Like, are you using just Facebook, or you're using Instagram as well, or if you are using also some other platforms to do it? I mean, we do it in the Facebook feed and Instagram stories, but it's where it is most effective. But you can do it also in the Instagram feed, for example, or something else. And it all depends on how are you targeting the right people? Are they doing the right steps? Then like Facebook works for you to allow you to go there. Why I did mention like custom conversions and conversion campaign, because depending on which campaign you are choosing, that's how Facebook is choosing people that's going to react to it. So if you said traffic is the people that just go to the website. If it's conversion, then it's specific thing that they are doing.
Right.
If it's engagement, it's engagement. So they will engage, they won't go to the website, or some of them will, but that's not the main thing that they are going after.
Right.
So you need to choose just one thing and focus on that.
Makes sense.
I can tell just one more thing because I just remember something. What we used to do, and I think it still works. It's something totally different. When you want to get engagement on your Facebook pages, because nobody's doing that anymore. But like if you want to do it, one thing that you can do is you can go with 2 campaigns at one time. So it's like traffic campaign to get people to the website, but also doing campaign to the same target group for engagement. So getting from that target group people who will engage on the post, and also in the engagement campaign, you have the option to add a link to the website as well. And it kind of doing the 2 campaigns at one time for the same target group, and for the same ad, for the same post, basically it lowers the cost.
Right, because it has the social proof as well.
Yeah, and you are using basically the same post for 2 campaigns, and it lowers significantly the costs.
I love that. I have 2 more questions. I think we have 8-10 minutes left because I have a meeting
Let's
after.
be fast.
So 2 questions. One, what are some proactive strategies that you found to lower the churn of your clients? So what can service-based businesses, aka agencies, do to lower the churn? I'll start with one that's really easy and kind of I think involves everything else, but then we'll go into the actual strategies, which is deliver great fucking results. When you deliver great fucking results, people don't want to leave you. But other than the obvious, what are some things that you found that are helping to lower the churn of your clients? For me, one of them has been having a great onboarding process. So improving the onboarding process has helped me create more trust from the very beginning, which I don't think we have like perfect yet, but it's better. And that's one of the things
it's never perfect.
It's never perfect, yeah, but it should it's significantly better. But what else are you doing to like make sure the clients stay and work with you for a longer time?
Yeah, let's go from the start. First, like onboarding. Yeah, I like to set up the expectations even on the discovery call.
Do you mind if I interrupt you real quick? One, signing the right clients. Like I think before even the onboarding, signing on clients that are a great fit versus signing on clients that want to give you money. Like that's one of the things that are going to help really significantly lower the churn. But sorry, onboarding.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I mean, just one of the topics that we talked a lot about, so I don't want to get into it, but like onboarding, it should be able to lower the friction as much as possible, because the trust is started to build up, but it's not there yet. So by providing what's going to happen in the next days, dates, times, deadlines, I mean, that's always okay to kind of set up the expectations. Also, one of the things, long-term looking, this is just from the start, long-term thinking, like we tend to suggest new thing like every 2 weeks. When I say new thing, it doesn't have to be something significant, because if you set up everything right, you don't need to go with much things, but kind of try to innovate when it comes to the creative things, when it comes to specific things you are doing. Because in a way, like we start posting, let's say, then in like we need 2 weeks or a month, and then we go with sending welcome messages. So after we do that, then we go with more post or additional things, then we go into something else. So that's how it goes. Also, like our pages and personal profiles and all the platforms that we are using is also the platforms where the clients came from, and also the platforms that clients are using. So we are talking a lot about our experience with other clients, with other industries, also things that come out of those conversations, like from the discovery calls, and they're reading, watching, listening, and they're proposing to us like, aha, so you did this, maybe is it a good fit for us, can we go into that? And that kind of not only stops the churn, but it also allows us to extend the deals.
I love that. Personally, I think like also improving how you communicate with them. Like you said, having a cadence of like bringing new ideas to the table is an excellent one. I think managing expectations from the sales process during the onboarding and then later, that's one of the keys, right? Especially when you're doing something like content or demand gen. That's an important one as well. In getting some low hanging fruit, like getting some quick wins at the beginning, I think it's important, right? Like for example, we started with like optimizing their LinkedIn profile. So like the first day or the first 2 days, they've already gotten so much value from us, and now they have a LinkedIn profile that is going to convert. And now they're starting to see some quick wins, right? So like setting up how can we like set up a Calendly or link into the contact page, all those things that are going to help get quick wins, I think are crucial. And it's something that should be in everyone's top of mind as a founder, because it's easy to get a leaky bucket where you like are focused on getting new business, but at the end of the day, it's important to keep them or you're not going to be able to grow. Something we've started doing is having a customer churn interview where we send them either a form or we get them on a meeting at the end if they decide to move away, just so we can get better and understand what's happening. And yeah, this is like a huge topic. I think that a lot of people don't talk because it's not that sexy, but like it's huge for a service-based business to keep growing.
Yeah, I agree. I just wrote a post yesterday about it.
Oh, really? That's it.
Yeah, that CEOs should post their own post, but also like doing the video interview with the CEO is also kind of the same as posting, because they give you all the answers you get through the text, through the videos, whatever you do it. One thing I want to say to end this, and the thing that we often forget, especially in demand gen, it's like measuring the right things, setting up the analytics, and see what the company has been doing in the past before you actually start doing things. It's extremely important. Even it can be one thing that can take you further than ever, or your journey can be the shortest as possible if you try doing things just because you think other companies are doing it and this is what you should do with everybody. And then you start doing it, and like in a couple of months, you see that you didn't set up the right metrics. You are measuring things that are not important. You are doing some things that won't get you anything. So it's important to jump into that and analyze, nerd on the things, and then go ahead and see, including also the CRM, the social media channels, including the Analytics, Search Console, everything that every tool that they are using.
Right. Yeah, and then you have to be able to communicate that without like offending them and like breaking that relationship right away. So it's
no man. Look, like you edit as one of the services,
right,
as one of the part of the services, and that's how you do it, because you need to communicate that beforehand, because they know that you need time to do that before you actually start. Those are like the first wins, including those things that you mentioned, like analyzing the LinkedIn profiles, the website, the easy to optimize for conversion, those kind of things. Those are like all the first wins.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And especially if you add that as part of the services. I had another one. I actually had a couple more topics to be discussed, but we can keep them for next week. This was a good one. I think we touched on a few interesting things that.
Yeah, I think we should get more into like those kind of topics, because we really know a lot, and we work and talk with a lot of B2B companies, CEOs, decision makers, CMOs, and really have things to share. So if anybody's listening, you have questions, feel free to send them anytime, so we can maybe go into more specific or help you on your individual journey. So
yeah, because we're in the trenches, like we're there creating content, and we've been doing it for a long time. But awesome, man. It was good seeing you.
Same.
I'm gonna see you next Wednesday. Actually, I have to send you a message after after camera is off. But I'll talk to you soon, brother.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you guys for listening, and
thank you, everyone.
Talk next week.
See you next Wednesday. Peace.